Michelle Fong, thanks for joining me.
How's it going, Patrick?
It's awesome. Listen, we've got some real serious ground to cover here because, a little bit out of context and perhaps different than we've done before, real property management is, trusted partners of the Real Estate Investment Network. And, 35 years that real property management has been doing what they're doing and what you do in Canada, and the property management that you provide right across the country for real estate investors. Now, that's what you're known for. That's what you've really grown your brand around. You and Carla Brown, who's the president of the company, and you both lead the way in terms of all of that. Now, within the REIN community, your reputation is absolutely stellar. But what's interesting, and this is what I want to talk about today, when we talk about real estate investing, we always say, treat your real estate investing like a business. But today, I want to talk about those individuals who have grown to be amazing at investing in real estate, but because they've become really serious real estate investors, they're also doing property management. Well, what RPM offers is opportunities to step into the world of managing real estate and actually being in the business of property management. Now, that's a long-winded intro, but I really wanted to set that context up well so that people understand what we're talking about today. RPM does property management, but RPM is also a franchisor for those who say, I want to take on property management and I want to do it really well. So give me a little bit of insight into that context called real property management, the franchisor.
For sure. So yes, as you said, everyone knows us as the property management brand here in the States and in Canada. But as the franchisor, we're passionate about helping new business owners and existing business owners really hone their experiences, hone everything they've learned from their day-to-day and make it into a profitable business. Property management as an industry is continuing to grow year after year after year. And it just makes sense that anyone who is really invested in real estate investing and has that passion brings that forward and wants to start helping others. Because if we can make a strong industry around helping other real estate investors, we can make a strong real estate investing industry even better, which I think that's the reason that a lot of us are here today.
Well, something what's interesting about all of this is that, as a national brand, the Real Estate Investment Network, REIN, has been around for 30 years. We've seen many investors, try and fail at doing property management. And it's not because they're not good at property management. They've learned to do their own portfolios and all the rest of it. But I think what RPM offers in this particular situation, in this context, is the structure, the systems, the processes, the actual support team, the support mechanism, so that really what is powerful about a franchise, and on the Everyday Millionaire podcast, which that I host, is I've had more than one franchisor, and I don't know what they call them. It's just like they're the what do they call them? They're kind of like the Cupid of franchisor and franchisee. That's what they do for a living. Mm-hmm. But in this case, it's like, here we are with real property management. We've had more than a couple of REIN members that have actually stepped up and said, I want to be a franchisee. Like I want to take it on and go into the property management business. So that's all to say that many have the talents of property management, but they don't have the systems. They don't have the processes. They don't have that, really North American wide or even that global view of property management when it comes to systems and structure. So let's break it down in a little bit more detail. We're pretty high level still, but let's talk about, as a franchisor, if somebody's interested in a franchise called real property management because they got their own portfolio, maybe they got their own 20, 30, 50, 100 doors. That's a good way to start, isn't it? And then what is it that RPM offers in terms of being a franchisor, Michelle?
So very first off, we want to look at the systems and processes. When it comes to starting up your own property management company, you need to build a good foundation. Property management businesses are two parts: business development and operations. You want to make sure that operations is strong as you start to do your business development, and we work with you on that. Our systems and processes are sort of done like a checklist style, where you know that you're going to be able to provide that consistency because you're going through the same motions each time, even though it's a different type of investor or tenant you're working with. But that consistency leads well back into your business, and we're there to support that all together. On top of that, franchisors take care of a lot of the training and development. So we do regular trainings, not only with our franchisees on other business owner topics and challenges that they're going to face as owning that business, but with your PMs as well. We believe that some of the best property managers need to have a thirst for knowledge, that continuing education, because this landscape is moving every single day. And so your franchisor wants to make sure that not only you, but your people are ready to tackle what's going to be happening within the market and on their day-to-day. On top of that, we also take care of all the technology, the research and development behind technology. Oh my goodness. The last 2 years, the amount of property management tech that has come out, even in the last 2 months with AI, it's been phenomenal. And us as a franchisor, we are looking at all of these many different pieces. But as a business owner, it doesn't necessarily mean you need 25 pieces of tech plugged in. We want to make sure that as you are running your business, you have the necessary tech, because it does cost money to put these software in, and that you're using it efficiently and that it's working and talking together. That is what I see as one of the key features of being part of a larger network, is that we have so many offices across Canada and the States. We can approach these companies and let them know, hey, we need to work it this way. It has to be this way so that we can deliver the best service and gain and work with other investors. Because of that bulk buying power in community, we have a little bit more lineage and leverage with some of these larger companies. And that tech piece is just continuing to grow and will always be moving as part of being a business owner within this industry.
So I want to get into a little bit of I got a couple questions around all of this. First and foremost, I look at property management and we see what's happening in the world today. So if you're an investor, if you're part of the RAIN community or not, if you're understanding real estate investment, you're seeing what's happening in this country. And, the possibilities of many owning a home seem to be dissipating and going away. Interest rates have come to a point where it's taken the affordability right off the table. Many who actually have the income to support it or actually can't come up with a down payment anymore, or can't even afford what they need to make the payments and maintain a property. The point is this: we got immigration at record levels. We don't see a short-term, slowdown to that. And the demand for rentals is increasing off the charts. And if you're in the world of investing, that you're seeing horror stories about tenants and landlords. And it's landlords that are not educated, that actually need the support of a real property management business to support them in managing their portfolios. And there's more and more gravitation towards that, given the rules, the regulations. The Landlord Tenant Act in Ontario and BC in particular, different than Saskatchewan, Alberta. The point is that this is an amazing business opportunity in terms of demand. There is going to be a lineup of landlords, rental housing providers that need property management. And that's part of why RPM is in this kind of growth mode that they're in. But let me ask you this question, Michelle. This is not a trick question. We did not rehearse these. This isn't to put you on the spot, but I want to know this. I want to be a business owner. I don't want to buy myself a job. And so I get it. I'll get in and I'll get in the trenches. I'll work my butt off. But do I see a future where I'm actually the business owner and not in the day-to-day trenches of it? Is that even possible? And I know I don't want to be putting you on the spot. What's RPM's thoughts around that?
100% that's possible. And I hope that all business owners that do want to get into this hone that passion and experience, but eventually they don't want to work themselves to the bone. Part of owning a business is being able to have that freedom and flexibility. It's going to take a couple years of work. Is it going to happen as soon as you open up your franchise? No, you got to put the work into the business to be able to do that. But I'm going to actually pick on Carla Brown, for example, who's our president here at RPM Canada, but she's also a franchisee in Saskatoon. She's able to manage her business using our systems and processes because we are cloud-based. So even though she doesn't have to see the leasings every single day, or she doesn't have to go out and fix the plumbing and so on and so forth, she's still able to manage her business because of our systems and processes, because of that consistency. And then it also comes down to finding the right people as well. If you want to see yourself eventually take a vacation from your business and still be worry-free, it definitely comes down to the right people. And that is a big reason why we have worked so hard on our continuing education and the training that we provide, because we really do believe that if you bring the right people into your business, the right people will serve your business, they'll serve the community, and they can grow further from there. And that's really just the short answer in it. But yeah, I hope that any franchisee does come on board with us can eventually take a vacation from their business and enjoy the fruits of their labor that they would have put in those first couple of years of starting up.
So I love that. And there's a fundamental that you mentioned a lot of things, not the least of which is that, we want to get our businesses to the point where they can sustain themselves on a day-to-day, hour-by-hour basis on their own. I think that's not an unreasonable thing to work towards. It's certainly over 40 years, it's what I've worked towards. I literally have businesses in another province that I probably spend a couple hours a week on it, very dedicated, very focused, and I didn't get there overnight. It was many years of developing that. But the other side of this, which is really interesting, and I just want to shine a light on this, Michelle, is that you're not just building a business that will generate income into the future, although that might be, and that's a worthy goal to have in terms of your efforts that you're putting in, but you're also building an asset. So, if you take that particular territory, because you guys work in territories, I think is something that's important to put out there. You have a territory and you are part of that territory in terms of your property management. You're actually building an asset that becomes saleable. And at some point you may say, something, RPM, I want to, put it out to the masses. It's time I want to sell this asset that I built. It's now got this kind of value. Am I speaking out of school, or is that in alignment with what you do?
No, 100%. And you know what? We can never really define how long someone is going to stay in business. Anyone who enters into business knows that they want to do it for the long term. This is not get rich quick by any means.
Yeah.
But if you are going to be doing it for the long term, it also depends on many factors that are going into your life. And we hope as a franchisor that you want to sell your business. If you have a sellable business, you have built up something that is of value. And at the end of the day, we hope that you can take that and either sell the business even to your own family and continue that legacy if you have other family members that want to get into the industry, or even if you want to sell it off to somebody else, we can work with you to help sell the business. And then you can enjoy the other fruits of your labor, which is just investing in a different type of real estate asset, really, and growing the business further that way.
So when you look at a startup in a franchise as a franchisee, what are some of the biggest challenges that somebody might face? Like if I'm watching this, and here's what I love about the franchise component. This is just my opinion, my view, and I'm a big fan of RPM because I've worked with you guys even longer than you are aware, Michelle, in behind the scenes, like many years ago. My point is I've watched the growth. I've seen how RPM operates. I've gotten to know you and Carla and many members of the team, as in your other franchisees. I love it. My point is this. Right now in the world, so much uncertainty. We start to hear words like recession. We start to hear words of potential layoffs and people losing their jobs. And I just want to say this. If you're that person that's got a career, got a job, and you're going, gosh, I don't know where this is going, this may be something like a franchise opportunity, maybe something that you want to look at that kind of gives you some security and some control. And now I know that sounds a little bit odd, but at the end of the day, when we look at, again, the demand for a business model, and I'm a business guy, I'm an entrepreneur, I look at and assess a business, I go, what's the future look like? And when I look at property management, I go all day long, property management, the need for it, the demand for it is only going to increase, if anything. So I see that as a great opportunity. If you've got a job or you've got a career that you're uncertain about, this may be a really cool thing for you to look at if you've got some background in real estate. And for those of you who are real estate investors with larger portfolios, that you see that what you've learned over the years can be applied, and now you have systems and processes and you're kind of in it anyways, I think this is a cool opportunity for you to look at. So I'm going to go back to my original question. I know that was a long-winded thing, but I got lots to say about this. Tell me about what are the challenges of somebody starting up in a franchise business?
For sure. Well, first off, it's still starting a business, but you have support and help from a franchisor. Franchising does not make you immune to some of the challenges that everyday business owners are going to see. The key thing, though, is that you do have support and that you have somewhere to turn and you have others guiding you and a community behind you. Mm-hmm. So when it does come to some of the things that people do struggle with when it comes to starting up a property management business, the first off is it might be a new skill. It's nothing to do with the franchisor. It really does come down to the individual. It depends on their own skill and what they are willing to do, because being a business owner means wearing many different hats. For many that start on as an owner operator, they got to be the marketer, the receptionist, customer service, the maintenance guy, and everything in between. And it can be a little bit overwhelming to manage. So for anyone who is maybe considering a career opportunity, or looking at breaking out on their own and really want to take life by the horns there and become a business owner, it is going to take dedication. It's going to take grit and time. Time is really one of those big key factors. Like I said, it's just not get rich quick, but it's long-term and sustainable. And that's the key thing about a property management business is, we know that we sign 1-year management agreements. We sign 1-year leases. And so we know we can keep building off of that as we continue to grow our businesses. So Patrick, at the end of the day, what people are struggling with is that they have to learn a new skill. And that is something that we are facing every day, whether you want to start a property management business on your own or have the support of an RPM team, you are still going to have to exercise those new skills. And the franchisees that do really well and really take off, just focus in on it. They know that they're dedicated. They know that they need to do this for their business. And the franchisees that sometimes take a little bit more time, it comes down to how much time are they willing to invest and put into these new skills like business development or marketing or operations or accounting. Support's always there, but you are always your biggest own factor. One of the cool things that I love about franchising is it's a business model that's proven in many different places, from Canada and the States for RPM right now. We just know that the biggest factor is the owner. And if somebody is willing to put in that time, the dedication, the love, and the passion and the knowledge from all of their real estate investing, we know that we've got a great match and we can work with this person and support them in their market.
I love this. So listen, folks, I know that Michelle and I went a little off script today. We were going to talk about property management, but when I got chatting with Michelle, I went, geez, given what's going on in the world, why don't we listen, RPM within the RAIN community. If you're a RAIN member and you're part of this community, you need to reach out to RPM if you need property management. Full stop. Just go there, talk to Michelle or her team, somebody on their team, and they'll get you lined up. The point is that from a property management point of view, they're trusted partners of the Real Estate Investment Network because we believe in what they do. They have a track record, and we get really great feedback about the performance of real property management in terms of looking after your portfolio. For those of you who are listening, this is where we went off track, Michelle, and that is, man, there's business opportunities out there. We see them happening. I see what's happening in the world, and I see some of the struggles that investors are facing. And I only can say that I see the franchise opportunity of RPM as a real opportunity to build another asset aside from your real estate, but to really take it on in a powerful way that is going to generate revenue for you. Who knows? Charge yourself way more money for your property management, make your business profitable. Who knows? I'm digressing already. Michelle, I want to say thank you for this time. If somebody wants to get a hold of you, what should they be doing? Where should they be going?
First off, if you want to get a hold of me, check out propertymanagementfranchise.ca. I'm available as well on LinkedIn and Facebook. Michelle Fong here in Calgary, Alberta. If you want to check out Real Property Management, our website's nice and easy. It's realpm.ca. We have resources for investors, as well as a full national listing system for anyone who's looking for a rental right now. We do have access to all of our properties across Canada. So I do encourage everyone to take a peek. Because Real Property Management is planning to be in your area. We just want to make sure we can find the right people who want to really take their previous real estate investing experience and become one of the best property managers in their area.
Love it. Fantastic. Michelle, thank you so much for your insights, and thanks for sharing this opportunity. And we're going to get this pushed out. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Patrick.